Na mimi nataka kuambia watu wengine ambao bado wanakaa na kasumba ya kitambo. Trans Nzoia sio extension ya Bungoma. Trans Nzoia ni county independent na Bungoma. Ama namna gani? Tuko na watu wetu kule Bungoma, tunawapenda, watu wengi wa Bukusu karibu wote wanatoka Bungoma. Lakini kwa swala ambaye inahusu Trans Nzoia utupatie nafasi ndogo. Maana hii mchezo pia nasikia ndio kuja ni confusion inaletwa na watu ambao wanajifanya kwamba Trans Nzoia ina viongozi wanakuja kutupangia. Hata mimi roho yangu Ibrahim Jona County Commission anakuja hapa kutuambia tutakana tukae kwa amani. Sasa kubangana sikata. Sasa dunia yote inaona kwamba Trans Nzoia kutakuwa na vita wakati Chebukati anazidi. Kwa sababu watu wametoa Kiherehere na Kisirani kutoka Bungoma kuja kupangia maneno hapo. Sisi hatupigani na watu lakini pia ujinga tukubali ujinga ama namna gani?
A very good afternoon and welcome back to Havana Media. My name is Boniface Awino and as usual I'm going to be your host for today. Now, today is another day that we want to talk about obviously we don't normally have breaking political barrier, and today we're supposed to have around 4 visitors, 4 guests, but quite unfortunate that some are committed somewhere. That is why we cannot have all of them, or we could not have all of them today. But I really thank God that Mr. Thomas is here, and I just want to give him time to at least tell us 1 or 2 things, because for those who are coming for the first time, maybe you are going to meet him for the first time, but those who have been here with me, I think you've met him before, and we've had an interview with him here, I think 1 or 2 weeks ago if I'm not wrong. So I want to give him time to introduce himself, tell us who he is, what he does, and maybe his objectives, what he wants to do in future. Maybe if he wants to become a politician or something like that, he can tell us, and then we talk about our topics.
Thank you very much, Ponves. As you've said, I'm Thomas Omao, a political scientist by profession. I work with an organization by the name Center for Research and Consultancy. This is whereby we collect and also analyze data. If you can remember the last time I was here, I said crystal clearly that Raila was going to lose the AUC seat because of the various dynamics that we had analyzed and put into focus, then came out with findings. So the Center for Research and Consultancy, we work with politicians, we work with organizations, even we work with international, we work globally to come up with proper statistics that dictate the various geopolitical implications in various parts of this globe.
So just a quick one. Now, during your working or maybe your plan, what are you going to do next? Are you going to stick there, or maybe there is something that you're planning to do in future?
Currently, as we're speaking, I'm focusing on working with the political class, because at the end of the day, we need to come up with leaders that are visionary.
Yeah, that's true.
Corruption. We want a corrupt-free society. As we are currently speaking, this country has been bedeviled by corruption.
Yeah.
Kenyans are working on extremely tight economic ropes because of bad choices we made to various leaders. And that's why I'm giving a serious clarion call to our viewers that in these coming elections, we need to be keen enough on whom we choose to lead us, because Kenyans are currently feeling the brunt of bad leadership. We have bad policies from this regime, and that's why we really need to be keen enough on the kind of leaders that we put in place, so that we don't keep on regretting time in, time out. Yeah.
Now, before now we talk about what I want us to talk about, because we have got around 4 things that I want us to talk about. Let me ask you this. Let's say that you are a doctor and a patient comes to you, and then this patient, you realize that the patient is suffering from blood sugar. What would you do to the patient?
As you mentioned, the first thing that I'll do, of course, is to have a look at how am I going to control this sugar? How am I going to put him at a level whereby the blood sugar is controlled? So after controlling, then you can advise various medications to this patient.
Okay, thank you so much. Though the answer is very much close with what I was expecting. But I think the first thing that you're supposed to do, you can do as a doctor, if someone comes to you that he or she is suffering from blood sugar, you can advise the person to stop taking sugar.
Exactly.
And then now, now let us go direct to our discussion. Now, Wafula Chebukati is dead.
Yeah.
And of course, this is the week that is going to be buried.
Yeah.
And yesterday I had Nzoia Governor Natembea saying that Wetangula, if Wetangula wants to go to the burial like a speaker, then he'd be respected. But if he wants to go as the Ford Kenya party leader, he will not be accorded the respect.
Yeah. And
of course, we all know what transpired between Natembea, Kimani Chungwa, Musalia Mudavadi when they were in Kakamega during the Bungoma during the burial of
Malulu.
Yeah. So what do you think? According to you, what do you think? What is your expectation on Saturday? Do you think there's some leaders who will not attend this burial?
I think Boniface, this country is in a period of political schizophrenia, in the sense that early campaigns have already begun. And since Wafula Chebukati died, we have seen many things, both online and also in mainstream media. People are seriously castigating this gentleman for having mismanaged the elections of 2017 and also 2022. Yeah. From where I sit, I can say without any fear of contradiction that the election of 2022 was well managed, because the voter margin between the win and the loser was 234,000 votes. Raila Amolo Odinga, who was a major player in that election, was being supported and fronted by the Uhuru regime.
Yeah.
And he believed that he had all the state resources and also machinery to counter William Ruto, who was also the deputy president. So as I had observed that election, Raila could not campaign with the charisma that he used to, because he relaxed. And we realized that 700,000 voters from the Luo Nyanza political bastion never came out to vote.
Yeah.
And Raila Odinga was defeated with 234,000 votes. So that election was free and fair, and I don't really think whether it's good to criticize Wafula Chebukati, who is now deceased. Personally, I'm a Christian, and from my Christian perspective, we are not advised to judge. The only person who has powers to judge is only God.
That's right.
Who is the supreme being. So as I said, we are in a period of serious political schizophrenia, and during the burial, we'll see a lot of political happenings. We'll see a lot of goons, a lot of thuggery. So we'll see politicians showing their might. But what I pray for is that we need to be very careful enough, because if we are not careful on how we handle this issue, or how this issue will be handled, then we'll most probably have serious casualties. So it's just my clarion call, especially the political players, to the political class. Let them approach the whole process with the due decorum that it deserves. Because Wafula Chebukati was a calm gentleman. And I can say that I was a great gentleman of substance, well composed, just did his things objectively. So, but as you are aware, there is a serious political rift between Governor Nzoia.Natembea and also the Speaker of the National Assembly. That is Masika Moses Wetangula. So they try to show their supremo, but at the end of the day, it's a common man who will just who will find himself between the hard place and the hard rock. So I just pray for calmness in as far as we are approaching the whole issue.
And do you think it's right that let's say, for instance, let me give you this example or this scenario, that you have your family, I have my family, and then something happens in your family which may be supposed to involve me, and then what I do, I discover that I send my people to come and intervene or interfere in your family. Do you think is that because what Natembea was trying to complain about yesterday is that Wetangula sent the county commissioner from Kakamega and from Bungoma, from Bungoma to go and tell the people of Trans Nzoia that they should be peace during the burial of Chebukati. So is it like they already know what is going to happen?
This thing is predetermined, Boniface. Because, as the Speaker of the National Assembly, Moses Wetangula has been limited to political happenings. He doesn't engage directly with politics because that will erode his image as a public figure. And Natembea George is a politician. He's always on the ground. He's been the proponent of the Tawe movement, which is gaining a lot of traction and momentum, especially in the Trans Nzoia region. So the Speaker of the National Assembly is trying within his ways possible to counter that movement that is gaining a lot of traction. So we're going to see a lot of political temperatures during that particular day.
So do you think there are some politicians who will just send their
yeah, absolutely. Once a politician, always a politician. Yeah, like you saw what happened during the burial of Malulu Njendi. May his soul rest in peace. This is a gentleman that I knew at a personal level.
Okay.
That's going to happen. Politicians will try to show their might. Who has what where, and that's what we will observe.
And to sum everything up, why is it that these politicians, whenever they go to a burial, they turn the burial into a campaign zone, whereby you find that like there is something that happened in Kirinyaga yesterday, whereby a bishop decided to leave the burial simply because the politicians were insisting, the Gachagua's people were insisting that they have to speak. So it forced this bishop to leave the burial before even finishing what took him there, and went away. So why is it that these politicians, they normally want to turn the burial places, they leave the bereaved with a lot of pain in their heart?
That's the greatest tragedy of our time and also history, Boniface. Our political class will always want to show their might. They'll always try to show their opponents that they are up to the task. They are the mightier ones. So, and they use these burial programs because, they are gatherings. They are gatherings, and that's where now they see an opportunity, they see a platform to show the opponent that they are up to the task, which according to me, I think is not the right thing. And the bereaved need to be given time to mourn their loved ones. Yeah.
Okay. The second thing is Raila Odinga have not said anything concerning his stand, what he wants to do after losing the AU. He's just been, let me use the word, he has been loitering around with saying unexpected things. Right now he's trying to pretend. I don't know whether he's pretending or he's doing it. He's trying to fight the government here and there, talking about the compensation of those who died, those who abducted and all that. And we don't know what he's planning because I heard him the other day talking about the issue of the NADCO plan. So what is it? Why is Raila not telling us his stand?
Boniface, this is what I want to comment on that particular subject. Raila Odinga, from where I sit, I believe that he is a paragon of moral and intellectual virtue. But going forward, if he's not keen enough, he's going to erode his image. He's going to erode his image in the sense that he is trying to associate himself with William Ruto, who is suffering from what I can say, the lame duck effect. William Ruto is a lame duck president, as we are currently speaking. The reason being, you can see extrajudicial killings, you can see corruption, failed economic policies. So this is what I said about the elections of 2022. And this is what I said. Uhuru Kenyatta 10 had suffered from the same effect, had suffered from the same lame duck effect because of poor economic policies, because of corruption, because of extrajudicial killings. And now here came Raila Odinga. He went associating himself with a gentleman who had failed. And that is why I think he lost miserably the elections of 2022. So currently Raila Odinga is saying that he is consulting, but I have eavesdropped. Same to you. People say that he wants to work with the Kenya Kwanza regime even past 2027.
Yeah.
But this is not the right thing that Raila Odinga can do at the moment. At 80 years, what Raila needs to do is to work on his legacy and not supporting a government that has failed in a number of areas. This is a government that has been accused of extrajudicial killings. The Gen Z uprising of June 2024, we saw many young people were killed. So this is a government that has made Kenyans to hang from extremely tight economic ropes. So I really don't know why Raila is just going to support this government. I feel that from where I sit, I feel that what Baba needs to do is to remain to his course. You know, the Orange Democratic Party is a party that has been pro-people always for quite a long period of time. So I think there is President Hakainde Hichilema from Zambia tried to vie for the presidency 5 times, just like Baba, and he became president at the 6th attempt. So I think Raila needs to be patient enough, and if he wants to be president, then he needs to dissociate himself with the Kenya Kwanza regime, which has a lost focus and also sense of occasion. Yeah, Kenyans need him.
And do you think, because according to my observation and what I've been listening to, even the people saying, most of the politicians, it's like if ODM have got the chance of winning the election in any year of election is 2027, is it possible if they really arrange themselves very well?
What I want to say is that the unit of purpose, especially amongst the opposition political figureheads in the country, will determine whether William Ruto comes back or is sent to Sugoi. And I want to say without any fear of contradiction that if the opposition unite against William Ruto, then William Ruto will meet his Waterloo at exactly 9 a.m. On that day, the voting happens in 2027. Because currently, there are quite a good number of dynamics that we are putting into play. There's the largest constituency in this country that is going to send William Ruto home. That is the constituency with pay slips. They are reeling from punitive taxes. And these people are extremely angered by those policies. Another dynamic that will come into play is the common man, the common mwananchi has felt seriously betrayed by this regime. So if the opposition unite against William Ruto, then that will be the end of him in 2022. Then he'll go down the annals of history as the only president since the inception of politics in this country to go for a one term. If he comes the Trump way, that one is a question of
another day. So, okay, I know we'll talk about this later, but let me just ask, because you've tackled something. Rigathi Gachagua said that if at all Raila joins him or they work together, it's very easy for him to make Raila win the election by 8 a.m. in the morning, just the way you've mentioned, that if they arrange themselves very well, they can win the election. So do you think it is very easy or it's possible for Rigathi Gachagua, man who initially was trying to challenge Raila Odinga, to support Raila Odinga genuinely? And remember, Rigathi Gachagua, the song that Rigathi Gachagua has been singing is all about the gamer. And then they are in the gamer region. Do you think it's going to be very easy for them maybe to work together, if at all Raila declares that he doesn't work with Ruto?
Boniface, I want you to get this. The man Geoffrey Rigathi Gachagua, as we currently speaking, is as angry as a ninja tiger because there is a clique of politicians, especially those surrounding the presidency, who want to extinguish his rising political star. So what Rigathi Gachagua is trying to do is to do anything within his capacity to ensure that he punishes President William Ruto, including supporting any gentleman to make sure that William Ruto doesn't win the second term. You see, this is a politician that is a self-made politician. You are aware that he was just a one-term member of parliament for Mathire. Then he rose from the parliamentary politics to a national national politics. So, regarding Gachagua and the Gema politics, he's actually has been oscillating around the mountain region. That's the Kamba, Embu, Meru, and also the Agikuyu. And these people tend to listen to him because, like the last elections, he told the people that Raila was not a good candidate for them.
Right.
And this was a candidate that was being supported by the sitting president. But the Gachagua was able to rally the whole mountain against supporting William Ruto. So he's not a gentleman that we can wish away. He's a serious guy, and anyone who is trying to dispute him is doing so at his own peril. And that's why I think even the president needs to be worried. Because number one, Gachagua Chofre is an orator. He moves the masses. He has resources. And before I finish, kindly, if you give me a little latitude
It's okay.
to talk about the Sudan crisis and also the politics of this country. You see, William Ruto has been seen to side with the RSF.
Yeah, the RSF.
With the RSF part. And we also have the transitional army that is operating from Khartoum. No, those are very wealthy people. They have a lot of resources. And if the government is not keen enough, the transitional army in Khartoum is most likely going to support the opposition figureheads in this country to unseat William Ruto if they are not keen enough because of what the government has been doing. So, the army generals in Khartoum are most probably or are likely to support, including financial support, to the opposition figureheads in this country, so as to unseat the president.